that you're a heart surgeon. Are you retired or are you still working on it?
I'm still working. I'm mainly working in research in heart surgery and heart transplantation. I did train as a heart surgeon and then went mainly into research, but still maintaining some clinical work.
Okay.
Doing assisting and having some teaching and having contact with heart surgery patients in the hospital. I'm mainly doing research on heart transplantation and other new frontiers in heart surgery.
And you've been doing a Chinese seminar or a seminar in China?
Well, right from back in the early 1980s, surgeons or intending or cardiac surgeons from China came to Australia because cardiac surgery was not really very established in China. So a lot of Chinese surgeons came out to Australia. I mean, not only with me or with the Alfred and lots of places, but they then went back and were very successful when they went back to China.
So what does it feel like working with Chinese people compared to Westerners? Is there any difference or?
I've had a lot of very positive experiences with Chinese students. I can't think of one lazy one.
Oh, that's a really good compliment.
No doubt about it.
I've heard people say about Chinese women weak and soft compared to Westerners. What is your perceptions or opinion?
Sorry, what was the word?
Weak and soft.
Weak and soft. Like Chinese women, they tend to be softer than Western women.
I don't think so. I don't think I would agree with that. I'm thinking of somebody up at the church particularly where the wife is the one that gets things moving, organises things, certainly is not weak in any way.
Well, I think that is a view around that a Chinese wife is submissive and looks after you. And
stay at home and
stay
look
at
after.
Home. In fact, we've got one of Anne's friends in England. He was a doctor.
Yeah.
And he said, I think I want to have an Asian wife. She'll look after me.
He said to me many years ago when we were both young, he said, I would need to have a wife who will look after me, get my slippers out in the evening, cook for me, do everything for me, but can still talk about things I'm interested in.
Do you agree with that?
No. I mean, he found her.
Sounds like
that's what he
taking
found.
advantage from
it. Well, it does. I agree.
Looking at the two of them, in some ways, she's the more insightful person of the two, and she can see what he's like. And I don't think he sort of dominates and is unreasonable, but she's just very kind and loving, I would say. He's got lots of hang-ups and she can cope with them.
Do you think it's easy to find a Western woman doing what she does?
No. I think the Westerners have been brought up to the idea that you're not just there to look after the man. You're there to enjoy your life as well and to do your thing, have your career if you want to. It's too much in that people nowadays here feel that they should all work. If you've got a career which you love, by all means you should do it. But I think it's gone a bit to the other extreme in that you feel, okay, we're both equal. You do half the cleaning, I'll do half the cleaning. You do half the cooking, I'll do half the cooking.
There's no love anymore.
Which you're just weighing it up. I'll make sure you get your rights. And that's not love. You're quite right.
So what do you think is the good family atmosphere from your point of view?
I think, from my point of view, I think the wife or the mother has got to be the one who can give time and be there for everybody. And I think that's the important thing. I think everybody helps, everybody's got to respect everybody else, and nobody gets told what to do, but you do things because you want to do them, because you love them.
此时 Anne 拿出了许多老照片，非常慷慨地跟我分享了她的家族历史。
Here is a picture I'd like to show you that I've had for many, many years. It was taken probably by my grandmother or else my mother in the 1920s or the 1930s, and that would have been just a small black and white snapshot that then they had enlarged, and then they would paint them. And this they often did, and I did have a lot of paintings of all sorts of places, but I haven't got them all anymore. But this is a particularly nice one. I think it's probably part of the Forbidden City, maybe taken from inside, but I'm not sure where it is. They would take a photograph as you would in those days with a small camera without any of the extras that they have nowadays. There would be no special lenses or anything, but then they could blow them up to make them larger size. And then they would just get paint and paintbrush and very carefully go over it all and paint in the bits that they wanted to. I mean, even the sky has been painted a very pale blue, and the trees there, and then this I think is fairly much the right colour for the roofs and the side. Now that one is a beautiful picture. It's one of my favourite, and that too was taken as a small black and white snapshot, and then enlarged quite a bit. And then somebody, again with great care, has painted it all in, even to the little flowers in there, and the roofs, the different colours. And that's called a moon gate, and they had moon gates quite a lot there. Obviously, you didn't have a lot of cars going in and out in those days, or you wouldn't have been able to have the roundness of it. And also, I've got this one. It's no longer in a frame, but this is one that I love too. And that, again, was a picture that has been coloured in with paint afterwards, and as probably everybody would know, that is a Great Wall of China. But you can see it going on and on over the hills for just about as far as the eye can see. I've got this other one in the other room that I'd like to show you. So if you'd like to come into the other room with me, I'll show you that one as well. It again is one of my favourites. Because this is a beautiful one of an old Chinese man. He's got a bald head, I think. I don't think he's a monk. He might be, because he's got beads there in his hand. He's holding it. But that is just a picture to me that just means China. The old man, the leaves, the bamboo and everything. It's just, I think it's great. One of my favourites. I've got some snaps I can show you, photographs taken from quite a long time ago. This first one is of my great-grandfather. That's a picture of him there. And he was wearing the Chinese clothes, and he had the pigtail, grew a pigtail down the back. And that was Charlie, and that was my grandmother Nellie. And then this one is of my grandmother Nellie.
"休息过后 ，Frank 会领大家走进他的相簿，开展一段照片之旅。同时 ，Anne 也会给我们展示她最爱的旧照片。